Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure review. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the Hot Toys Infinity War Doctor Strange figure. Now this is one that I've been really excited to pick up because I actually sold my original Doctor Strange figure, so the collection has been without one. And when I saw the initial prototype pics of this figure, I thought it looked absolutely amazing. I then saw it in person at ACGHK and I was really blown away. The figure itself looks very impressive, and I can't wait to get it out here and show you how awesome it actually is. Now first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to the man who can over in Hong Kong, Eric Lee. His link is down in the description below if you want to pick up this figure or any upcoming Hot Toys figures. He is the awesomest dude. We went and had dinner in Hong Kong together just last week, and he's a really nice guy to chat to. He's a one-man operation. He's doing everything himself, and he's doing a really remarkable job, and his prices are also really good for first batch figures. Now definitely do check out his link, and his group on Facebook is down below, as well as the Justin's Collector group and Mint and Sealbox Figure Podcast. The link is down in the description below. Now without further ado, let's get a look at all of Doctor Strange's accessories. Now this Infinity War Doctor Strange figure comes with more in terms of accessories than that original figure. Now I think he comes with more hands, and the reason I say I think is because I sold my original version. I've since picked up another one which is on the way for the comparison video, so I'll be able to confirm or deny whether or not he does come with more or less hands. But first of all, let's have a look at some of the magic accessory pieces, and they are really done quite nicely. They were done well in the first release, and they're done equally well here. This is a brand new piece for this figure, and you can see that it lights up gloriously under the LED lights here. Really nice effect piece to have. These are a reuse, I believe, from the original Doctor Strange figure, and they still look pretty darn cool here. A big fan of these. This is a new piece, I believe, and it looks really good. I'm a big fan of this one. I'm actually going to use this one on display, I have decided. I think this one is a really cool looking piece. Now it also does come with two sets of these pieces, as well as the green ones, which are actually different. I thought they were identical, just different colors, but they are different pieces. This is when he's using the Time Stone, obviously, and these are his sort of attack or defense sort of pieces, and they do come with their smaller counterparts as well, so you can have them going up his sleeve, which is really awesome. Now he does also come with this sword. I have not for the life of me found the name of this sword, but you can see that it does have the Eye of Agamotto down there at the bottom there, and it's really nice piece. Now in terms of any of these energy effect pieces, I do recommend attaching them to the hands before you pop them on the figure. It just makes it a hell of a lot easier to actually get it onto the figure's arm. Now he does also come with the, tell me if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak. Someone in the comment section last time on the unboxing video, I thank you very much. I've forgotten your name, but I want to say a huge thank you to you for telling me what these exactly were. Look, in the instructions, it even just says band effect art piece or something like that. Doesn't even give it a name, but they are done really nicely. And the correct hand to use with it is these splayed out hands, and you basically just slot them in just like so, and then you can see that the hand peg is in there, and you can just have it extending out of his arm, and I think that's a really cool effect. That's sort of second place for me in terms of what to display with the figure. Now he does come with two versions of the Eye of Agamotto. He comes with the opened up one and the closed one. You can see they do look like carryovers from the previous version. I'll have to confirm that when I do get the original one back in, but they do look really cool nonetheless. He also does come with the two different versions of the sling rings, really tiny. I'll focus the camera up for you there. You can see two different versions, a little different in terms of the detailing, but they still do the same thing, and you can sort of force them onto his hands if that's what you want. Now he does come with the Cloak of Levitation, and this looks like a pretty similar piece to the original with the really nice printing on the inside. It does have a really weak wire on the outside, and it's, when I say really weak, in fact, I don't even think that there is. The original one did have it, but I don't know if this one has it, because if it's there, it's incredibly weak. Now he does also have the magnetic attachment. There's one magnet here and then two on the outside, and the collar is not sort of wired, which I really wish it was, to get that sort of folded down at the front and popped at the back look, which he does have in the film. But you can see, as I drop it onto the floor, you can see that it is really nicely detailed. This shoulder section here, the reason why I'm pointing it out is because it's actually a hard, sort of solid piece. You can sort of hear that, how hard it actually is, and it does sit on his shoulder quite nicely. I think this is a little bit different to the original version. And he also does come with the final accessory, except for his sort of backdrop piece, which I'll show you in just a second, is his display base. And it does come with the dynamic flight stand piece, so you can have him hovering above the rest of the Avengers with that awesome display piece in the back. That piece, word of warning, it does not fit in a detolf, so don't even try. It's way, way, way too tall, but it does look really awesome if you can have him sort of out on open shelving. I know if I had something like Dean Knight set up, that would be really, really awesome, but unfortunately I have detolfs and it just won't fit. But I'm still going to use the dynamic display base nonetheless. So that's about it for his accessories, all the little bits and pieces that he comes with. What I'm going to show you now is the backdrop piece that comes in the back of the box. Now, taking a look at this backdrop piece, I'm a big fan of the fact that Hot Toys are starting to include these with a lot more figures. The only issue is the height. This is really, really tall this time, and unfortunately it definitely does not fit into the detolf. I have tried my hardest, and I've even tried folding the bottom over, but it's just too flimsy unless you rest it right up against the back of the detolf, and then you have all this extra sort of cardboard down the bottom there, and it just doesn't work. It's a really, really cool piece for them to have included, but it just doesn't work in practice. Getting a really nice close-up look at this head sculpt, I think Hot Toys have done a marvelous job from prototype to final product. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that the eyes are looking a little bit funky on the final product, but I just don't see it. I'm so sorry, guys. I think this looks really, really good. I think they've done an awesome job translating that prototype to final product, and once we compare the original head sculpt, I think you'll definitely notice the improvements in this one. I think the expression really does help. It's got a sense of sort of anguish on his face there, really nice expressive head sculpt, and I'm a big fan of the fact that Hot Toys is starting to venture out a little bit and do some more expressions, because for the longest time we've had those sort of stale expressionless head sculpt, and I think that this is definitely a step in the right direction. Now, he can wear the Eye of Agamotto quite easily. You literally just pop it over there and it just can sit on his neck there quite nicely, and for the cape, it is magnetic, so just like in the film, it can situate itself quite nicely. Now, unfortunately, as I said, the collar does not sort of sit the way you want it to, because there aren't any strong enough wires, at least in the actual collar itself, for it to sit nicely the way that at least I want it to. I might be the only one, but I definitely do want it to sit more flat at the front and sort of popped at the rear, just like that. I think that's a really cool look. You can kind of emulate it, but it just doesn't sit there nicely enough, in my opinion. Now, this guy is having an enormously tough time wobbling around all over the place. I'll cover that in just a second when we look at the legs. But as for the rest of the outfit on the upper torso, you can see that it pretty much looks like a carryover from the original release. Now, I'll have to confirm that. I'll get the cape out of here. I'll have to confirm that when we do have a look at the original one and we do the comparison video. You can actually see the magnet in the back there. I don't think the original one did have a magnet in the back. We'll have to again confirm that in the comparison video, but you can see the belt work is all really nice and intricate, just like it was last time. All the layering of all these pieces on the arms here, really, really nice work by Hot Toys on the outfit for this Doctor Strange, whether it's a carryover or not. Taking a look at the legs on this Doctor Strange figure, they may very well be a carryover from the original release, just sort of zhuzhed up a little bit, if that's a technical term. Now, these panels here are really, really thick and multi-layered, and there are a ton of layers throughout the entire figure, and all of this is real material strapping, which I'm a huge fan of. I love when they go into that level of detail on the boots and stuff like that. It's really, really awesome. Now, I do have some gripes with this figure, and I will cover them in just a second. I've got a brand new segment coming up in about 2 seconds from now, where I'm going to cover 5 annoying things with this figure and 5 really good things with this figure. And I'm going to plan on doing that for each figure review from now on. Let me know if that's something that you'd like to continue seeing. Now, the first thing is the fact that the ankles, unfortunately, are not the split cut boot design. They are one fixed piece, so you don't get really any ankle rocker at all. Another funky little touch is the fact that the magnet is visible on the back of the outfit, and I just don't think that's good enough. Third point is the fact that when you actually pull out the hands, the wrist peg often comes with it, and then when you try and push it back in, this excess piece here does tuck in to the actual slot and makes it so that the wrist peg can't slot all the way in to the arm. The fourth annoying thing about Doctor Strange is the fact that his belly is sticking out a little bit. You can see it here, and I hope it's just mine, but the fact that his belly is literally poking out, looks like he's got a bit of a pot belly. You can sort of push it in, but it just springs straight back out. And final annoying thing about Doctor Strange is the fact that there is a wire in the cape. You can see that it does bend, but it is so damn weak that it can't hold any poses, and you can't have the collar sitting flat at the front. On to 5 good things about this figure. The first thing is the head sculpt. That head sculpt is so damn glorious. I think Hot Toys absolutely nailed the likeness on this Doctor Strange figure. The second good point is all of the accessory pieces that this Doctor Strange comes with. He comes with way more than the previous release, and they are all so damn awesome. The third good point is the redesign on the cape, with this part being a solid sort of plastic piece. It really does help it drape over the shoulder quite nicely. The fourth is the dynamic display base. It's far smaller than the previous dynamic display bases we've been getting, and I'm a much bigger fan of the smaller footprint these have. And the fifth and final awesome thing about this Doctor Strange figure is the outfit. The way it sits on the actual body itself looks so awesome. They have done a great job once again with the tailoring on this figure, with the multi-layering and all of the different mixed media. This is just one stunning outfit. Giving you a really quick size comparison next to the Infinity War Iron Spider figure, you can see that the Doctor Strange figure is significantly taller, obviously because Benedict Cumberbatch is taller than Tom Holland in real life. Hence, it's replicated here in figure form. When I get the original Doctor Strange in, hopefully on Wednesday, the comparison video should be up, and it'll show you if there's any height differences. Apparently, the rumor is that there's a couple of centimeters difference between these two releases, so I can't wait to actually see if there's any truth to that claim. Just wrapping up on this Infinity War Doctor Strange figure, I think this is definitely a really, really good release for a second version of a character. Now, the first version was no slouch by any means. I think this one definitely does improve in some key areas, in terms of the accessories. I think it comes with a few more hands as well. Obviously, it comes with way more weapon accessory attack sort of pieces, so I definitely do think it's worth picking up if you A, don't have that Doctor Strange, that original one, or B, you want a Doctor Strange specifically to go into your Infinity War display, because this one obviously comes with the Infinity War display base, and they all are nice and matching, so this one does fit in very nicely with the rest of the line. So those are the two sort of reasons why you go ahead and pick this one up. I don't think it's necessary to sell off the original version and replace it with this one. I'm pretty sure you can just pick up the accessory parts on eBay and just basically make your own version 2 Doctor Strange. In fact, I already bought a second head sculpt for this guy with a bit of a sort of bloody effect when I was over in Hong Kong to have two different looks for my Doctor Strange figures. Now, if you are looking at picking up this figure, the link to Eric Lee, the man who can, is down in the description below, as well as his Facebook group where he posts up any new release figures and the prices as well. All of that information is down in the description below, as well as the Justin's Collector group. We will be doing another giveaway very, very soon, so definitely do stay tuned to the Facebook group for that. And in the meantime, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.